The Bible does not distinguish between the heart and mind, but rather the heart and mind are both scripturally the same. Just as life begins at conception, now this is not meant to be political, but rather meant as an analogy, okay? So life begins at conception. I have to draw the line somewhere, and the only place it makes sense to draw the line is at conception, as far as when does life begin. Now, the Calvinists don't draw the line there when it comes to their definition of faith, when one becomes born again. They want to draw the line where they can supposedly see the full form, the so-called fruits of someone's faith, not the very beginning, the conception of faith that happens in a person the nanosecond they believe the gospel. So these Calvinists are no better than those who say life doesn't start until they say so, whatever that is, because if you don't draw the line at conception, then it becomes unquantifiable. The same with faith. This is a zygote. A zygote is a human fertilized egg. Now, this particular label says day 1, but actually we're going to consider this the nanosecond of conception, okay? So we're going to consider this the nanosecond of conception. So when the moment of conception happens, then this is the nanosecond that life begins. Likewise, the nanosecond one believes the gospel, that person has been conceived, regenerated, and born again into God's family. Regeneration happens the moment, the nanosecond one believes, which is the nanosecond that someone becomes, that is like the nanosecond, that conception, that spiritual conception, that the spiritual rebirth happens. So the Calvinists need to go back to 8th grade science class, because they obviously don't know how basic science works. And God created science and he created physics, and they like to think they're so smart, but it's really, they like to think they're so smart, but it's really so simple that faith is the nanosecond one believes.